California Wildlife Center is a nonprofit that provides veterinary care for more than 4,300 sick, injured, and orphaned native wild animals a year. Once recovered, the animals are returned to the wild. We treat more than 160 species, from hummingbirds to elephant seals. We have a full-time staff, veterinarian, and state-of-the-art medical facilities.
Hi, my name's Dennis. I'm the hospital manager at California Wildlife Center.
California Wildlife Center has a department that is dedicated solely to orphaned animals. It's called the OCU. This department helps animals as small as baby hummingbirds that weigh less than a penny to squirrels, mockingbirds, possums, mourning doves, skunks, and more. The OCU is highly seasonal and is busiest in the spring and summer months when orphaned animals are found by members of the public. Assisted by volunteers, OCU will help over 1,000 orphaned animals each year. What is a typical day in OCU like?
Well, a typical day in OCU involves a technician and an intern coming in and checking out all the patients from the day before, make sure everyone looks healthy and make sure no one needs urgent care. The second thing is to prepare for feedings. So we have many different species of birds in here, so a lot of them require different things. Some want worms, some need, like doves need a specific formula, finches need a specific formula, crows and ravens eat specific things. So then we have to make sure we prepare those quickly in the morning and get ready to feed. And then we go to our iPad and check out the database to see what kind of medications all the animals are on. Make sure we draw those up and then distribute those also as we're doing our first feed with the animals. As we're going through, we're cleaning and doing health checks on everyone to make sure no one has had any kind of injuries that were missed on initial exams or maybe have hurt themselves while they're in care. And then we set up our timers on the board over there. Our youngest are fed every 30 minutes, oldest are fed every 2 hours. We get our board set up, get our times arranged for the rest of the day, and then just go at it. And just timers go off, schedules are made. Some birds are tubed 4 or 5 times a day, so it's just a constant rotation of feeding and cleaning for the rest of the day.
Why does the OCU need to exist?
Well, OCU needs to exist because people find lots of orphaned animals during the spring and the fall when squirrels and opossums are around. Mothers are hit by cars, trees are trimmed, cats are killing the mom birds, babies are abandoned, and they typically fall out of the nest when they are in dire straits, when they're usually starving or just seeking shelter. They get restless and fall out. So people find them, and it's our responsibility, we feel, to care for them and give them the best care we can while they're here and release them back into the wild.
What are the species most commonly found in the OCU?
The most common animals we see in OCU, the most common species of animals we see in OCU are fox squirrels, because they have 2 seasons. So we get baby fox squirrels in. They're a little bit older than ones that are usually found in the nest. We have someone who helps us rehab them when they're much younger, and then they come here when they're a little bit easier to take care of and don't require as many hours and specialized one-on-one care. The most common species of bird that we get are kind of in between mourning doves and house finches. So we get lots and lots of mourning doves in the spring and summer because those guys leave the nest fairly earlier than other birds and are a little bit more immobile when they are on the ground as fledglings. They do just kind of hunker down until you are almost ready to pick them up, and then they flutter around a couple feet. They're also easy targets for cats. So mourning doves are also easy targets for cats. because they are a little bit bigger than other baby birds and not quite as mobile. So they're just sitting ducks for cats.
Why are animals brought to the OCU?
The most common reason an animal comes to the OCU at CWC is unfortunately kidnapping or bird napping. A lot of people think baby animals they find on the ground are helpless. A lot of fledglings who actually should be on the ground and being taken care of the parents are snatched up by people and usually brought to an animal shelter, and then we get it in here. Those birds, if they are contacting CWC, we are able to make sure we have them send a picture here, and then we can tell that the bird's a fledgling, and then we have them put it back and give them instructions on what to do. Tied for first, I would say, are cats. Cat attacks bring, I would say, hundreds, if not a couple thousand animals to CWC each year. Cats are probably tied with #1 issue involving declining bird populations, songbird populations in the country. Tied with windows, of course, but probably the most preventable reason of a population decline is outdoor cats.
What to do if you find a baby bird?
So, how to prevent bird napping? When you find a bird that you think needs help, if it is on the ground and it's mobile, has most of its feathers, usually tries to get away from you a little bit, and you can pick it up, put it on your finger and it can perch, or put it on something else and it can perch. I would say leave it alone. Most birds learn how to fly from the ground up, so we don't want to take that life experience away from them, because as much care as we can give them here, the best place for them to be is out in the wild. So whenever you see a bird that is acting like that, don't think that it's been abandoned. Put it in some place where it can hide, bush or a shrub or something like that. Watch from very far away, and I guarantee you'll see a mom swoop down and feed it within half an hour of you putting it down there. Or you'll hear a mom, and if you look around, you'll probably see a couple of birds looking at you and watching you pick up the animal.
What do you like about OCU?
Well, my favorite part of OCU is watching these birds learn how to behave like they are wild animals as they get older. You get a nestling in, and they are very helpless and rely on you for everything. Food and water, warmth, they can't do anything. Within a week, week and a half, they're older and they're starting to explore their enclosures. And we try to put natural things inside the enclosures, like a pile of leaves, or put some seed on the ground, or hang a berry or stash a berry, and they have to go and hunt and find those items. It's just great to open up an enclosure and see a mockingbird in a pile of leaves scratching around hunting for worms that we've hid from him.
What should you do if you find a baby squirrel?
So you can re-nest a squirrel by first picking the animal up with gloves or a towel, making sure that it doesn't have any obvious injuries. Look for bloody noses or anything very traumatic. You don't have to do a thorough physical exam on the animal. So if it's a healthy baby, not cold, not super skinny, then you can put it into a shoebox with just one thing in the bottom, maybe a paper towel or maybe one washcloth. Don't put a bunch of stuff in the box, because we want the mom to be able to retrieve the animal from the box. You take the box, put a couple holes in it, run some twine through it or whatever you got, tie it to a tree head high, just to keep it off the ground, because cats or dogs or something will see it on the ground, go up to it and approach it and be really nosy and maybe snatch the baby out of the box. So you want to keep it up high. So just head high, don't get a ladder or anything. Leave it there for 6 hours if the weather's nice. We vary that according to the weather. If it's raining, don't try this. If it's 100 plus degrees outside, don't try this. But usually it's pretty nice around here. So 6 hours in the box. Don't go near it. Don't look at it. Keep your dogs in, keep your cats in, keep your kids away. If you go out there in the box and see the baby gone, the mom's most likely picked it up, because squirrels make 2 nests. So they'll have a backup. If their main nest gets disturbed by a predator or tree trimming or blown down out of a tree, she'll go to her other nest, finish making it, make sure everything looks good, and then she'll start retrieving her babies.
Support California Wildlife Center's treatment of sick, injured, and orphaned wildlife. Make a tax-deductible donation today at cawildlife.org.